Many people think that hearing thoughts is empathy, and other people think that empathy is just a form of telepathy. In reality, empathy and telepathy are both halves of the same body. We are psychic beings by nature. Telepathy and empathy are tools that we use even when we are unaware of them. Those two abilities are not the same, but they have many common features. Many people tend to believe that the ability of broadcasting belongs exclusively to telepathy, while empathy is only for you to receive. That cannot be further from the truth. In order for one to be able to receive an emotion as it happens with empathy, someone else must have emitted it first. Empathy is not an ability that one learns, it's an ability that one has by nature. What people want to say when they say, "I'm an empath," is actually that they are aware of it. The same goes for telepathy. You always receive and you always transmit. Everything emits a frequency. From the chair we are sitting on, the feeling we are experiencing, and even the thoughts we have. These frequencies are transmitted to the environment, and so we can receive these stimuli through the sensors of our four bodies. Both telepathy and empathy are a collaboration of those movable bodies, mental, subconscious, emotional, and physical. Depending on the way they collaborate, we experience those frequencies differently. You might wonder, how is it possible to be an empath and a telepath without realizing it? That is because there are different levels of perception and awareness. Society is teaching us to not observe a lot of our natural senses while focusing our attention to specific stimulus. We give a lot of attention to the 5 physical senses, and even then we give more trust to some of them than others. For example, you might trust more easily what you see rather what you hear. At some point you may have an experience in which what you see and what you hear are not sequential, meaning that you hear something and the visual stimulus does not confirm in any way what you heard. In that case, most people would immediately dismiss what they heard and try to find an explanation based on what they see. So, by extending this understanding, it is easier to see that as we grow, we learn to pay less attention to some of our senses until we stop being aware that they are there. While, on the other hand, we give more and more to senses that those around us consider to have more value. In other words, we learn to dismiss the stimulus that others cannot confirm for us, and that is limiting a lot our perception and awareness. An aware person should give the same attention to a simple change in the temperature, a buzzing in the ears, that would give to any other sensation or physical stimulus, like seeing something with their eyes. In the same way that we ignore some of the senses of our physical bodies under certain conditions, we do the same with the other senses produced by the rest of our bodies, such as empathy, telepathy, intuition, etc. Someone who is trained to be aware of these senses would comfortably anticipate, for example, danger from a change in the air pressure, while someone who does not trust and does not observe himself would be more likely to ignore obvious signs of danger, such as inconsistent sounds and physical, mental, or emotional irritation, until something very obvious appears to that person's reality, something that, with social criteria, would be an acceptable element for the existence of danger. Those signs can have different explanation, of course. That is why we need to be aware and have strong source-self connection to be able to see the lines. I'll give you another example. Let's say you suddenly feel tired. You are more likely to think that you need rest, especially if this is justified by social criteria, such as when you are on your way home from work. You would not even consider the version that there could be something else that causes this symptom. However, This has been observed in people who do not do much during the day to justify somatic fatigue, in which case we say that someone is tired because they do nothing, or in extreme cases we justify it as a mental illness, such as depression. But the truth is that when someone sucks your energy, intentionally or unintentionally, or you waste your energy on unprofitable options for yourself and others, the symptom would be the same. Another common case that I would like to mention as an example is the cough. If someone suddenly starts coughing, they will think that they have something in their throat, or even that they have started to get sick. In fact, an incorrect thought or a harmful feeling would be enough to cause a cough. An energy attack the same. How many times did you start coughing exactly as you were about to say something? This could be a sign that it is not beneficial to say that thing you were about to say. Empathy focuses on emotional body, while telepathy focuses on the mental. Both abilities resonate to the physical body in different ways. Empathy is considered when the frequencies we receive are reflected by the emotional and physical body. For example, empathy is when you feel someone's grief or joy as if it were your own. A slightly rare phenomenon of empathy is when you feel physical sensations that someone else is experiencing, such as pain or even diseases. Telepathy, on the other hand, involves sounds on a physical or imaginary level, images and other symbolism. Because there are so many parameters in this issue, I will give an example to make it more understandable. If an empathetic person enters a room in which a tragic crime has taken place, they will probably experience emotional or physical pain, anger, and any other emotion that was present in that space. Emotions are not to be directly related to physical symptoms, such as stress is very much associated with stomach cramps and an increase in adrenaline. In the case of stress, empathy would irritate both the mental and physical body. If a person with more developed telepathy entered the same room where this crime took place, they would probably see images in their mind of this event, or at one of the most advanced levels, they would see and hear it as if they were still there. If you put an empathetic person to face a violent person, he will experience the emotions that lead this person, while the telepathic person will experience the thoughts and causes that these emotions are there. The empath will experience the state of mind of this person as this person experiences it, while the telepath can see the motives and the hidden subconscious programmings of this person without having an emotional attachment with them. To make it more clear for you, empathy is to feel and sense beyond, without hearing or seeing. Telepathy is to hear and see beyond, without feeling or sensing. In order for one to have a complete vision and awareness, needs to be in touch with both of those tools. Also, that person needs to be clear from subconscious programmings and filters of perception, because all the stimuli first are going through them and they get translated based on the receiver's state of mind. Imagine that you are sitting with a friend at a park. Let's say that you have unresolved issues of jealousy towards your romantic partner. Those issues are not in the surface in that moment. Instead, you are enjoying your walk in the park. The friend of yours has economical problems in their life and they have unresolved anxiety of not losing their house. While you both are sitting there, the friend of yours starts thinking about the bills that person has to pay and how their money are not enough. That way they allow fear and insecurity to come in. You, if you have an advanced empathy, for example, you will pick up that energetic signature of fear, but not the reason you picking it up. The fear will resonate with the closest frequency that matches with it within you. In that case, your unresolved jealousy, because it's also fear-based. It will trigger that emotion in the surface, and you will start thinking and feeling the insecurity your friend has about losing their home, but translated as your fear of not losing your partner. In that case, you absorbed the stimuli and you accept it as yours. You accepted that thoughts or emotions into your reality, and if you stay there enough, you eventually will manifest them into your experience. So, it is important for someone who is now learning to recognize their abilities to solve any unresolved issue within them before they begin to decode their powers. This way, you will avoid serious misunderstandings. Imagine the same example with your friend at the park, but this time you have completed the shadow work. In this case, you will be able to recognize that these feelings or thoughts are not coming from you, as you are aware that you have no unresolved fears. In this case, we can use our abilities in the most efficient and practical way without creating problems for ourselves where they do not exist. When your emotional or physical body are receiving a stimulus, your mental body might jump in with assumptions. It will initiate a process of rational thinking in an attempt to justify why that person is feeling that way, or what is the purpose of that sensation you are experiencing, and will do that based on your personal state of mind. The same goes when your mental body receives an information. Your emotional body tends to react based on how you feel about those information. Your subconscious body is involved in all of this all the time. Also, because it's where your subconscious programming and your unresolved issues are rooted, but also where the decoding of those signs and symbolism begins. Your subconscious decides what you'll be aware of and what you'll remain unaware about. Your subconscious will also keep you accountable based on the choices you make during this process, as in any other experience. It should be noted that both empathy and telepathy are not limited to receiving stimuli, but also to transmitting. An empath can influence a person's emotional state or even cure a disease if they know how to use that ability properly. As a telepath can influence the flow of a person's thinking and change it. As an aware telepath, you can make a person snap out of negative thought streams and help them to think positive ones. Telepathy and empathy are also directly linked to the ability to see possible future events. Understandably, we can stop observing our own senses, but that doesn't mean we stop having them. We just deprive ourselves of the experience. These energy conditions will continue to be part of our experience, but in such a way that we will not recognize them. They will change shape, and where someone would only hear a buzz or just feel a pressure on their skin, that energy would enter their reality in another form, to which they would pay more attention.